Hello everyone, we are back with a September reading wrap up and my October TBR. So we're just gonna hop right into it because I actually had a good reading month this month. I read 8.5 books. 2 of them were physical, the rest of them were on my Kindle, and I have my reading journal with me to help me, remember the order that I read things in, what I rated things, and any other notes that I have. So let's get right into it. The first book that I read, it was on my lovely Kindle. I read A Court of Silver Flames. I was buddy reading this with my sister, and we finally finished the Acotar series. I think I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars because it was one of the better books in the series. However, I think I was just ready for the series to end. I think the 4th book really threw me out of it because I felt like it was a pointless read. And so getting back into it with the 5th book, it took a while for me to get back into it, but I slowly ended up getting back into it. It was a little too spicy for my liking. And also my sister said the same thing. My sister, she listens to the audiobook. Oh my gosh. She would text me and she's like, she did what? She put what where? And then it'd be 5 a.m. She said, I can't listen to this at 5 a.m. before I get to work. She said she needed to turn the audiobook off. So I was grateful that I was reading it on my Kindle instead. Yeah, I think that's why I gave it a 4. Honestly, maybe 3.5, maybe 4. I don't know. I think Nesta really redeemed it and made it a 4 for me because I really liked her character. It was nice that she wasn't just a pick-me and she wasn't just I can do everything, I can do this. Like, she was actually having to fight for it. She's actually having to do things the hard way and to become comfortable with herself and her new self as well. So that's why that one's a 4 stars. Let's see, do I have any notes here? Let's see what I wrote in my little reading journal. Yeah, I wrote like nothing. Oh yeah, Nesta got on my nerves at first, but like I said, I really like her afterwards when she started, becoming more comfortable and like she stopped being insufferable. So she became more likable, And yeah, okay, also I wrote that the spice was too detailed. It was too detailed. I don't need to know where specific things are happening, like how long specific things are happening for, what's going where things are being left behind. I don't need to know all that. I said the book felt a lot like girl power, and I like that. So yeah, 4 stars for that. But I am glad that I finished that series because if there was another book, which I know is coming out later, I don't know if I can handle it. Maybe later I'll be able to read the next one because it will be later. But if I had to read another one right now, I couldn't do it. Okay, so anyways, next up. I read a physical book and I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So I got this book off of Taobao and it was just kind of like a random buy because I just was buying up books and I saw it and I said, why not? So this one I ended up giving 4 stars. This is because it was like a palate cleanser for me after reading acotar. I needed something chill just to, empty my mind on. And also I'm currently planning a trip to New York City. So the fact that it was partially set in New York City, great. It made me even more excited. And because I just recently refound my love for reading, the fact that it was about book publishing, even better. It got me so excited and I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, and usually I say these were like mindless reads for me, but this one, it wasn't as mindless. And I had one quote from this book that I really liked. It said, all these years spent thinking that I had superhuman self-control, and now I realize I just never put anything I wanted too badly in front of myself. And yeah, it kind of reminded myself just to always have a goal that I'm chasing after and something that I really want. Because, self-control is good, but I don't want to be too self-controlled where people think I'm a robot. But anyways, this book was really good. I don't really have much to say because it was just, Emily Henry, she's good at what she does. And I really enjoyed reading it. So this one is a 4-star book for me. Okay, and then next, after that, on my Kindle, I read Ms. Killjoy by Holly Jackson. This one, I read my first sentence in here, but this one I ended up giving 3 stars. And the first sentence that I wrote, I said, not gonna lie, I didn't care too much for this one. But Holly Jackson, she's also good at what she does. But it was just kind of a quick, easy read for me, but it wasn't action-packed. I like the real, get into the action, the twists and turns. This one was just kind of about a murder mystery dinner party. And while it was good, it was just, like I said, this was also kind of one of those mindless reads. I felt like I didn't have to think too much and it was like, it didn't keep me on my toes necessarily. And I wasn't very interested in the story as much as I'm interested in Holly Jackson's other stories. Arthur was annoying as hell. And yeah, the whole murder mystery plot line, like the actual plot of the murder mystery, I wasn't really interested in that either. It was just okay. But yeah, I had nothing really to say about this one except I give it 3 stars. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that one, but you know, that's that. It's done. All right. The next one I read. This Is How You Lose the Time War. Oh my gosh. Literally my first line over here was, yeah, sorry. Okay? 2.5 stars. And that's being nice. Because I heard good things about this book. It was hyped up. I was excited to read it. And then I read it. I feel like I didn't understand 75% of that book. Is the book too smart for me? Am I not as smart as I thought I was? I don't think so. I think it was a lot of just random fluff here and there, just writing things. One of my pet peeves is when people write things so beautifully that you lose that you don't know what's going on. Like, it's just, the goal is not telling the story. The goal is how they write the sentences and make them beautiful and make them sound nice and make them want to be used as quotes, to where I don't know what's going on anymore. I may know what color this is. I may know how they left this letter in this beautiful tree, how they did this. I don't know what's going on. Okay? So the first half of the book, I had zero idea what was going on. Second half of the book, I understood what was going on, but it wasn't good enough to redeem it. Yeah, okay, so the thing is, I read this book during a 24-hour readathon. It slowed me down. It took forever. This book and Killjoy had the same number of pages, and I think it took me double the amount of time to read this book. And I feel like if I didn't read this book during a 24-hour readathon, it would have put me into a reading slump. I do have some good quotes from here though. I have built a you within me, or you have. I wonder what of me there is in you. Okay, or this one. I want to meet you in every place I ever loved. Listen to me. I am your echo. I would rather break the world than lose you. Okay, so there's beautiful quotes in there. All right, but the thing is, I'm sorry. If you like this book, hey, that's you. That's you, but it's not for me. So once again, 2.5 stars, and that is being generous. Okay? After that, I read another physical book. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab. Like I said, I've read a lot of her books before, and so I heard this one was really good, and this one I ended up giving 4 stars as well, because she knows what she's doing. When she writes, she knows what she's doing. I've said that about like 3 authors so far, but they know what they're doing. Deserved. So, V.E. Schwab, this one is just straight, anyway, this one is just straight fantasy. There's no spice in it, which I didn't need any spice. I don't need any like hardcore romance. There's just a sprinkle of romance in it, and that's okay. It was good. It was perfect. The magic systems were great. I love the ideas of the different Londons. I think I'd be too terrified to live in White London. I also don't think I'm strong enough for Red London, so it seems like Gray London is the place for me. But it was pure magic, pure action. I loved it. Yeah, and V.E. Schwab, she is not scared to kill off any characters. Minor or major characters, she is not scared to kill off anyone. She would introduce a character, and I'm like, okay, like, we're gonna learn about this character. He's gone. He's dead. So that's that. But it feels like everything was wrapped up nicely at the end of this book. So I'm a little bit confused, or, you know, and interested on how she's gonna start the next book. And then there's another book after this. Because it seems like this could have just been a standalone. With the way it ended, it seemed like, okay, everything's all cool, but there's 2 more books. So that means a lot of stuff has to go down. And also the twins in this book freaked me out. I had an image of them in my head, and it was not a good one. And what is hesitation is the death of advantage. That's a good quote from this book also. Next up, another Kindle read. I read Miss Holly Jackson, The Reappearance of Rachel Price. This one I gave 3.5 stars. This is because I was kind of slumping. Thanks, This Is How You Lose the Time War. I was kind of slumping a little bit, and I feel like if I wasn't slumping when I read this, I would have rated it higher. It felt a little slow-paced in the beginning, and honestly, Belle was getting on my nerves in the beginning. I don't know, maybe I'm just irritated by everyone at this point, but Belle was getting on my nerves in the beginning. And turns out, I should have listened to her, you know, but you just kind of realize in this book that the whole family is insane and everyone's full of secrets. But I like reading messy books. I like reading drama-filled books, and this was definitely one of them. I like when people sit around the table, a family sitting around the table, and they're all sharing each other's secrets, but in a snarky way, like, oh, I saw what you did. Oh, but what about this 3 years ago? I like that, and literally there's a scene like this in this book. So it was perfect read for me. It was drama-filled. But I don't want to give any spoilers, but also girl power. That's all I'm going to say about this one. And I would recommend this one, you know. But yeah, girl power. That's all I'll say. For Jack Edwards Book Club, the Inklings Book Club, we read The Coin. 3.5 stars. It was kind of one of those plotless reads where it just turns very weird. But you know what? It was fast to read and it was weird. It was fast to read and it was weird, which was cool for me. I think she's a teacher. She's a unique teacher, but then also she ends up going to Paris to like scam people with Birkin bags. And then it turns into like a my year of rest and relaxation kind of situation in the end. But you know, it was weird. It was weird, but I like weird. So 3.5 stars for The Coin. Hey, after The Coin, the next book that I read was Once Upon a Broken Heart. I finally hopped on the train. I hear everyone loves this book. I give it a 3.5 stars because I couldn't build an attachment to the characters. It felt like, so it's a decent sized book, it's a decent length book, but I feel like it was short, or there were moments of action scattered throughout the book, but when they happened, they were written so short and precise that it didn't affect me much. I'm like, oh, okay, that happened. Okay, that happened, cool. But, so therefore I wasn't able to build any connection with the characters, only a little bit. But then also like, I don't know, I hear the next books get better, and it wasn't a bad book either. I can understand why people like it. I think it's kind of cute, like the whole love, the kiss, the kissing chess, interesting. But I think it's all like, it's a very, like, it feels like in another world it would be like a cute, loving read, but then it's like dark with like magic and murder. So I think the other books will make the series go uphill, and it will increase my rating for the books because I hear that they get better, and it's not bad to start with. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I give that one a 3.5 stars. I hear the other books are better. And then my 0.5 read was also a Kindle read. It was Free 4 by Veronica Roth. This one, I give it I think at 3.5 stars or 3 stars. I don't know, kind of in the middle, because it was only like 30 pages. That's the thing. That's why I consider it 0.5 read, because it was 30 pages and it was just the knife throwing scene from the Divergent book, but in 4's perspective. And I feel like it was good. It was short. It was simple to read, but I could have done without it. It didn't add much for me. I didn't really care much. I just wanted to see if there was anything like, wow, super different, or like what's in 4's head. But it seemed pretty normal. It seemed like I could have guessed that he was like that myself. I didn't need Veronica Roth to tell me in a whole short story what he was thinking, because I already knew what he was thinking. So yeah, I don't have much to say about that one because it was so short and it was so simple and just straight to the point. But yeah, so that was my 8.5 books that I read this September. I think I had a pretty good reading month because most of them were pretty good. But yeah, and other than that, thanks for watching. Let me know what your favorite read of September was, and let me know what you plan on reading in October, if you plan on reading anything at all. Let me know that down in the comments. And once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time in either another book-related video or some kind of travel or lifestyle video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.